Hey coaches, welcome to this week's 10-minute tips. I'm Ashley, and today I want to tackle something that many coaches understand conceptually but struggle to implement consistency, and that's periodization. So, if you've ever found yourself creating programs week to week without a larger structure, or if you've tried implementing periodization but got bogged down in the complexity, today's video is for you. Let's talk about why this matters. Random training, we all know, produces random results. So when you master periodization, you're not just writing workouts, you're designing a progression that maximizes results while also minimizing plateaus and injuries. So, next, what I want to do is I want to dive into Opex principles for periodization. At Opex, we have refined periodization into a clear framework that works not just for elite athletes, but for all clients. So let's break down these key phases. So, first, we have accumulation. This is where we build volume, develop skills, and establish fundamental capacities. For most general population clients, this is where you'll spend the majority of their training year. Think of this as laying their foundation. This is going to be higher reps, more total work, and it's going to have a focus on form and consistency. Next, we have intensification. So, here in this phase, we will decrease volume while increasing intensity. So, we're taking all the capacities that we built during accumulation and we're expressing them at higher levels. This might be anywhere from 20 to 30% of your client's annual training. Next, we have pre competition. And so this is specifically for clients who are preparing for specific events. This is where we sharpen skills, simulate competitive demands, and fine tune performance. So, for general population clients, this could be preparation for a fitness challenge or a seasonal activity that they might be competing in. And then next is competition. So, this phase is self explanatory, it's the actual event or the peak performance period. And then finally, we have our deload phase. And this is what gives the body and mind some time to recover and absorb the training stimulus before beginning the next cycle. So, when we understand how to adjust these phases based on training age, this is where all of this magic kind of comes together and happens for your clients. So, when we're looking at beginners, they probably need longer accumulation phases, shorter intensification phases, minimal pre-comp, just depending on if they are a beginner who's maybe working towards a goal of running a 5K or going on a hiking trip. They might have some minimal pre-comp phases. Intermediate athletes or intermediate clients may benefit from more balanced phases, just depending on what their goals are and what they are training for, if they have an event that they're training for. Advanced clients can obviously handle more complex periodization schemes. So, this isn't just a theory, it's kind of what separates sustainable progress from a frustrating cycle of pushing hard, burning out, starting over. So, for your clients, it's just allowing you to show them the big picture. So, sometimes it's hard for us to understand what our day to day training is unless we kind of step back and look at the big picture. So, this is super beneficial to show your clients and give them a good understanding of what is the big picture, what are we working towards. So next, what I want to do is I want to get inside CoachRx and show you how you can use our planning and periodization feature to build out long-term, short-term, and daily plans for your clients. Let's get into our planning and periodization feature so that we can start building out long-term, short-term, and daily plans. So in order to get to the planning and periodization feature, we have to navigate to a client calendar. We can expand this left sidebar, and we're actually going to use this planning and periodization tab right here. So when I open this up, it's going to bring you directly to the long-term plan. So I can hit add long-term plan. Start date, I'm going to say we're going to do this. Let's do Monday. So whenever you do a start date, it always has to be on a Monday, and your end date will always have to be on a Sunday. So you'll notice that the middle days of the week will always be grayed out. So I'm going to hit start on for the beginning of April, and we're actually going to do a 12-month cycle. So I'll get into next end of March. So we'll go to the 29th. And then here's where you can add any notes that you want about this cycle. So you're going to notice in CoachRx, our periodization feature is designed hierarchically just like proper periodization should be. So we're going to start with long-term plan. Now I'm going to save this long-term plan. And now when I open this up and I view this, you're going to see it is blank. You'll notice up here that I have all of my client priorities. This has been populated based on the move assessment that I did with this client. So we build out long-term plan. Now I can start creating short-term plans. So these are actually going to be the 4, 6, 8, 12-week cycles that I'm going to have within my long-term plan. So I'm going to add short-term plan. This is where we're going to see all of those phases that we talked about previously. So accumulation, intensification, pre-comp, competition, deload. So just for this example, I'm going to use accumulation and I'm going to do an 8-week cycle. For this, maybe we'll do some exercise selection change at 4 weeks. So cycle notes, this is where you can put any sort of notes that are talking about what you're going to accomplish this cycle. So maybe we're going to do 3, I'm going to put FBR for full body resistance days plus 2 aero days for aerobic days. And then you'll see that we kind of have the cycle priorities are also populated here. And then I'm going to choose sustain. So in sustain and Opex, we classify aerobic work through MAP progression. So MAP, which is maximal aerobic power. MAP 10, think long and slow. MAP 1 is going to be short and fast. So for this client, they're pretty much a beginner. So we're going to do MAP 9. And we're going to do this 2 times weekly. And I'm going to do 1 cyclical, like mixed cyclical. And then we'll do 1 mixed aerobic. And so now I'm not going to do any sort of pain, which is anaerobic work. And I'm going to hit create short-term plan. So now that you can see this is opening up the short-term plan, I can see all of the notes here that I've created for this. And now I can go in and update my daily plan. So one thing that we need to note is that if I can't see any days here, which you can't see on this screen, this means that I need to go set my client's training schedule. And I get a lot of questions about this is my client doesn't train on the same day every day. Their weeks are pretty hectic. They might work out on Monday on one week, but then Tuesday on the next week. So what I recommend is just marking them all available for your client. If not, they will show up as a rest day on the calendar. If your client does have a mixed schedule, just mark them all. If they do have a set schedule and they're pretty consistent, then go ahead and set that set schedule as well. So now I'm going to hit save schedule. And then I'm going to refresh my screen. And now you can see that all of these days have populated here. So now I can kind of choose because this client so I can put in now the daily plan here, which will populate daily tags on the calendar. So maybe for Monday, we're going to do, this is a full body resistance day. So we're going to do a squat pattern with, I'm going to put a horizontal pull, and then we're going to do a hinge pattern with a vertical push, and then we're going to do a lunge pattern, and we're going to do a core. Tuesday is going to be mixed cyclical aerobic. Wednesday, we're going to do same FBR, but I'm going to switch up and do vertical pull and horizontal push. We're going to do rest here. Friday, we're going to do same movement patterns here. And then this, we're going to do a mixed aero day. And then Sunday will be rest. So now I'm going to save this. And now when we look at the short-term plan, we can see that our daily plan is also populated here. So now I have created my long-term plan, short-term plan, and a daily plan. So now I can go back to my long-term plan. So I have the first 8 weeks created. Now what I can do is I can continue to add. So I can add another short-term plan and build out this entire year if I want to, or I can build it out in 8 weeks at a time, 12 weeks at a time, whatever you are accomplishing. So just CoachRx makes it super simple to visualize and implement from the client's program calendar. So now once I get into the calendar, I can see that we've started this. Now you can see that these daily tags are populated here, which is going to make it super easy for me when I'm starting to make exercise selection. I already know what movement patterns I'm focusing on based on what we've built out for the daily plan. So as you start implementing periodization in your own coaching practice, so here are some few key tips that I have for you. So first, explain periodization to your clients in the most simple terms. I personally like to use the analogy of building a house, especially just because I work with mostly general health and wellness clients. We need a foundation before we can build walls and put a roof on. So just help them understand that this structured approach will get them the sustainable results that they're looking for. Second, just avoid some common mistakes like jumping straight into intensification without proper accumulation. Don't make phase transitions too abrupt. If your clients need deloads, make sure that you don't neglect those. Some of your clients may not need built-in deloads just because they might not need you to schedule deloads because they might have naturally built-in deloads into their year based on I'm traveling for work, I'm going on vacation. So you can kind of work it around that. And then don't let client impatience drive the process. So help them learn the patience, help them understand the process and stick to it. And that's what's going to help them see results. And then third, use feedback tools inside CoachRx to help monitor how clients are responding to each phase. So I recommend using the weekly check-in. We've talked about this before. So if you go into the consultation tab, you can turn on the weekly check-in here. And this is just going to help you see trends for clients' recovery, how they're feeling, if they're eating enough food to support the phase that they're in or the cycle that they're in. And this is just going to help you make smarter adjustments. So just know that we have kind of done a very quick version of planning and periodization. So this week, I challenge you to take 30 minutes to map out the next 3 to 6 months for just one client inside CoachRx. See how this bird's eye view changes how you think about their daily program. I think you'll be surprised at how much clarity and purpose it brings to your coaching. If you are not yet using CoachRx, jump into trial, try out this tool, see if it helps you in your planning, see if it helps your clients understand the big picture and the process of your programming as well. Let me know if you guys have any questions. More than happy to jump on a call and do a demo to help you guys build out your periodization.